The Buffalo Bills just gave the New York Jets the golden ticket going into week 2 in this divisional rivalry matchup. And Bills Mafia, we should be a little concerned about it. This might give us some nightmares going into week 2 because the Baltimore Ravens just put up 230 plus rushing yards against this defense with Ed Oliver in the game. But now we've heard the news that Ed Oliver, it was trending downward and he is out for the week. That means we've got Ed Oliver out. That means we've got Dwayne Carter out. That means we've got 2 suspended defensive line front 7 players in Michael Hoyt and Larry Okunjobi, both still out suspended for a handful of more games. That's already, again, multiple guys that we've lost on our front 7, which I thought going into this year was going to be one of our strengths. Last week, it was concerning with how much Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson exploited this defensive line, but now with more and more injuries piling up, guys like Breece Hall, Isaiah Davis, Braylon Allen, and even Justin Fields with his legs are going to probably gash us and are probably going to put some points up on our defense. And that's very, very concerning going into week 2, which, again, Vegas has us winning this game. Vegas has us, being pretty dominant in this game, but it's now an away game. It is an away game, and it's ultimately going to be a game that's probably going to be harder than we want to give it knowledge, than we wanted to acknowledge. Divisional games sometimes get a little bit more testy. Sometimes they're a little bit more low scoring, or maybe we can bottle them up and play a little bit more aggressive. But for some reason, I feel like in the NFL, the underdog teams in divisional games, for some reason, always overplay what's projected. And that's got me a little concerned. And it's as if, again, we gave the New York Jets the golden ticket going into this game, because I know going into this week that I was worried about Garrett Wilson. But right now, I'm a little bit more concerned about the run game and potentially what the New York Jets can do to us on the ground. But hey, if you are new to Crack the Table, my name's Colin. We are all Bills, no breaks. If you're still watching this video, if you love the breakdowns like this today, we're going to get into this in a little bit deeper context. Make sure you hit the like. If you haven't joined our community, subscribe. We're having conversations every single day in the comments. Join us, but let's get right into it. The big headline, the big news is that Ed Oliver is ruled out for Sunday's game against the New York Jets. And again, this is the golden ticket for the New York Jets. Buffalo's owned this matchup for the last 5 years, and really since 2020, we've had 8 wins in 10 games. We've had 4 straight wins in MetLife. But don't forget that this is not a terrible Jets team. They've got a new coach. Aaron Glenn's come in from Detroit. A lot of people were saying this last week because we beat Detroit with the team that they had, that we shouldn't have such an issue with a team like the Jets. However, they do match up pretty well against us in a lot of different ways. They're really good at man coverage, and I think they're going to have a pretty good defense against us, regardless of the fact that we put up 40 points on Detroit last week. Of course, I'm not concerned about our offense, but I'm mostly concerned about our defense, but just adding some context here. And again, with the Bills, we're missing some defensive starters here. The Jets smell blood, right? There's blood in the water. They want to get a win. They had a terrible loss last week to Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers. Of course, that's them swapping the quarterbacks with Aaron Rodgers and Justin Fields over last year. But again, Vegas still has the Buffalo Bills as the favorites, but those odds don't account for us losing Ed Oliver, who frankly, again, last week was the #1 defensive graded lineman and was just an anchor, an irreplaceable player. He made the game-winning swap last week. 4 minutes left in the game. We were down 15 points, and he was blowing up double teams. He was dominating. He was even getting after the quarterback, making big hits on Lamar here and there. But now we've got him gone. Of course, we've got our suspended guys gone, and Okunjobi and Hoyt. And now, of course, we know Dwayne Carter's out. What are we going to do? TJ Sanders and Deion Walker are going to have prime opportunities to stop the run game, or need to get after a guy, again, like Justin Fields in this game. But suddenly, Buffalo's defense, our front 7, is looking more and more like a skeleton crew. Great for fantasy points, great for, Dalton Kincaid, Keon Coleman, and Josh Palmer, and, James Cook, and even Josh Allen to score a bunch of fantasy points. But honestly, who cares about fantasy points, right? It's scary for us to go into these divisional games, which really do matter for playoff seeding, which really really do matter later on when we're fighting for the division. The Jets are built, I think, to exploit this sort of weakness up front. Again, they've got a guy like Breece Hall who had a ton of yards last week, who played a pretty exceptional game, and he could go nuclear up the middle in the one or two gaps, or the A or B gaps, and do pretty well as a player. They've got Justin Fields, who last week we saw they had a bunch of designed runs for. We'll see what Braylon Allen does. We'll see what Isaiah Davis does. But of course, the guy that I'm really scared of actually is Garrett Wilson. I think he might take advantage of Benford. I think he's a really, really good receiver. I think he's a top 8, top 10 receiver in the entire NFL, and he's still got a budding career ahead of him. But again, I don't want to go into this game. I just got done ranting yesterday about how Bobby Babich is kind of on the outs for me, and how I'm worried about him as a defensive coordinator, as a play caller. This further hurts our flexibility on our defense. It lowers our ability to be an elite offense or elite defense against a team like the Jets, who seemingly should have come into this game a little bit floundering, but we've still got our offense. We've still got James Cook. We still got Keon Coleman ascending. In our protection, our offensive line is incredible. I don't want this game to be a 35-30 game. I want to get out of this game with the Jets only scoring 15, 20, 24 points. It would be amazing for our team to get out of this game knowing that we can, regardless of the injuries and regardless of some of the things that some of the hurts that we have on our team, that we can get through a team like this and hold them to under 100 rushing yards as a team. That would be an incredible feat. If that's the case, I don't doubt that we can get away with the win. But again, it's a divisional game. We've got to put it up to the test. We can't just simulate these games. We've actually got to play them. So turnovers are going to matter. We've got to try to pick off Justin Fields. So I've said this before. Which Justin Fields are we going to see going into this game? Is it going to be the guy that we've seen in Chicago and for the Steelers, who sometimes just sails the ball? Earlier this preseason, we were seeing Justin Fields pass the ball all over the place, over his receivers, just throwing the ball every which way and not even hitting his guys. But last week we saw him really step up and really be consistent with Garrett Wilson. That is very concerning. This is going to be a matchup to watch, of course, 1 o'clock Eastern time. It's going to be a great matchup, a lot of fun. We love the New York rivalry, but what do you think as a fan? Do you think with Oliver out, with Ogunjobi and Hoyt and Dwayne Carter, is our defense looking a little thin, a little scary? How are you feeling about this news that's just coming out here? Yes, Bills, Jets, divisional war. It's coming. It's going to happen. If we lose this game, are you calling for the head of Bobby Babich? Are you calling for him to lose his job? Even so, in all of it, again, if you haven't joined our community, my name's Colin. This is Crack the Table. We're all Bills, no breaks, every single day, breaking down Bills content, Bills news, Bills rumors, Bills analysis. Excited for this weekend. Excited for what our team's going to do. I saw a tweet this morning, and I just totally off the cuff here. One of the things I really love about this team right now is we've got some players. Again, a guy like Josh Allen, who he's on our roster, he's on our team, and we get to see maybe one of the top 10 players in the last 25, 30 years play, and he's playing for our team. It gets us so excited every single week because he's gonna make some miracles happen, regardless if what the outcome of our defense is. We get to watch an all-pro, all-star, MVP level player play week in and week out. It's amazing. Have fun this weekend. Enjoy the game. Go Bills.